Peace, Farmer Courtney here. Colorado journeying was on my mind today when I was out in the potato patch and just having a different view of my life and situation. And so right now there's some pressure on the potato fields by the Colorado potato beetle, which is kind of a big, I debated with like showing you like I have a whole collection of them because that's how we deal with them here. We don't use, chemicals and sprays and things like that. So there's a window of time with the Colorado potato beetle. If you can get out there, and they're really quite big, chunky bugs, you can get them off the plants. We usually knock them into, a jar of hot soapy water, collect them, cut down on their numbers, and then they don't defoliate the plants. So normally I do that. Today I was putting them into an alcohol solution because I am going to be making a homeopathic remedy out of them and just trying to interrupt this cycle because I feel like the terrain has become weakened around this same bug. Like we could just keep having infestations, whereas we didn't in the past. So anyway, trying something different. And then I was thinking about Colorado in general and the symbolism of the Denver airport and about what are the chances of when I, just rebelliously and headstrongly had this whole impulsive plan come over me that I was going to, start a correspondence with people. And then I had been working at the health food store, so I had like a little bit of money saved up. And then I sold all my possessions at a yard sale, bought a plane ticket to Denver, Colorado. And then years later, learned about the actual symbolism of the Denver, Colorado airport. If you've never seen it, it's pretty crazy. Like if you look it up, just, from the shape of it, the dedication of the building between the two different Masonic lodges in Denver, the black and the white, and then the very intense artwork at scale. Like these are huge scope of artwork, just really depicting the New World Order in this way that has, since I learned of it, about, 25 years ago, has just stuck with me in such a vivid way. Not even just the imagery, but the degree of blazenness that you would put it in an airport setting and you would hide a narrative within such an artistic depiction. It just really stuck with me of like, oh, okay, so this isn't just some faceless boogeyman or some sort of, I think a lot of times when we don't give a calculating intelligence to evil all the time necessarily, like we would like to try to explain things away and think that somehow it isn't a high level of deceptive intelligence with an actual, high level ability, high IQ. We just think, we like to think that it's something other and coming from something just so foreign and different from us as humanity. But anyway, the Denver airport has some serious symbolism in it. And for years, I would be out in the potato patch every year. Tonight, one of my coaches in the ABS tribe, Dr. Sister Naomi Muhammad, she was saying, focus on your cycles, like look at the timeline. She used some other words of, the cycle of time of the year, and this is the highest time of the year. I was just saying this to the children because everyone is complaining that they're hot. And I said, I just got out of a cycle where every single day I was thinking about keeping the fire going, every 4 to 6 hours, like very much being married to the wood stove so we wouldn't, perish from cold and like freezing up here. So pardon me if I don't shed a tear over that, you're missing a screen in your bedroom and you don't have a proper fan. Like, give thanks. We just got through this cold period, and I know many places are cold and it's colder, but I love this time of year. So as much as it sounds like, really, you go out in the potato patch and you pick bugs, granted, it's a humbling experience. It is not my favorite. So I used to make, the best part of it was I'd have my phone and I'd have an earphone in and I'd be listening to The Time and What Must Be Done, because there's a lot of episodes of that, 52 hours of content. So I would just listen. I would listen to that as I clean the bed and breakfast. I would listen to that as I pick potatoes. So I've listened to that quite a bit because I had a cycle where that was the seasonal grind. And yeah, it was a lot of unpleasant work that I was not into, or it was a lot of repetitive work that I was over. And to have such a regimented thing that I had to do all the time with the flipping of the rooms and the meticulously erasing any trace that we'd ever been in the house, while I'm in the house with my 4 children for 3 hours cleaning everything, and then kind of cleaning towards the door and, wiping of every bit of dust and dirt and energetic presence, and leaving it all ready for the next people to come in. So it was a pretty intense thing. But so I'd have these downloads when I was out in the potato patch doing this. Like, I would start seeing these connections. So the things that I'm going to be talking about health trends, and just really kind of pushing back on some of them and questioning them, how they affect agriculture, how they affect our, fine elements of our body, like fine parts that we never even think about, like our kidneys and all the different aspects of health that are really unseen until we have a problem. But that doesn't look good on a, infographic or a meme or like an Instagram post. People just want, like the flashy or the appealing or whatever. So then we get into all these health trends. But I was, really struck today when I was out there of just how grateful I am for right guidance, how grateful I am for people in my life who know me enough so that when I see them, if I'm not doing what I am creatively and spiritually called to do as far as creating content, that I know that I would have to answer to them as to what are you doing, because inevitably it'll cause problems if I'm not, walking in obedience and sharing about these different things. So what I'm going to be sharing about with the health trends and just making the connection to regenerative agriculture as it's coined today from the pages of How to Eat to Live. That was what I would see in all those hours when I'm out there with the potato beetle. I would start to think like, oh, right, that reminds me of a line in How to Eat to Live. And oh, when he phrased it like that, oh, okay, I can see like a blueprint of a farm emerging, because if we understand what we're reading as far as like eat this, not that, so you know what to leave out, and then they eat this, then you know what's actually a core focus, and then how regenerative the description of that is, and how it can foster fertility while production is going on, just because of the focus. So yeah, it's not definitely not a job that people are like, no, let me go pick the bugs. And it's definitely a joke among my my daughters. They were working on some dance that they were doing, and I said, I know you're going to be disappointed, but I'm going to go outside and go get the potato beetles while you're dancing, but I'll be back, don't worry. And they were just like, oh, we're so sick of picking bugs and you going out in the field and doing this and that. So good news is I've been doing some research, and I'm going to make a homeopathic remedy that's going to, change the energetics on the field and hopefully move the needle this year. And if not, I'm not letting up on the, the manual, what we're normally doing, but I'm hoping that the eggs that I'm definitely going to miss some of those eggs. I feel like I get maybe 50%, 20% of the eggs. It depends. They're bright orange. So that's the thing about the Colorado potato beetle is it's bright orange. So sometimes, the eggs are bright orange. So they're really easy to spot if you're looking, but there's also a lot of leaves on each plant and it's pretty intense. But anyway, all that to say, this is night 22. Of my 67 posts for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's 67 years of service for the Nation of Islam. Just sharing my appreciation, sharing stories, and just opening my mouth and walking in obedience to say the things that just pile up on notepads or, in my mind or things that I'm striving to create content around. But at this point, I haven't yet. So, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said to me in a dream once, it's not about what you can do, meaning like, yeah, there's lots that you theoretically could be doing, but it's about what you're not doing, which, that was just really, really stayed with me and really hit. So what I'm not doing is like a public share of a rough draft. So I guess that's what these are. And anyway, thanks for joining me. So until next time, all right, peace.